This is your WW3 of Friday morning. It's Friday the 17th. Oh my God. It's like Friday the 13th for the Italians here. Instead of Friday the 13th, it's Friday the 17th for Italy, which is bad luck. I think you need a lot of those good luck charms, those, so-called rituals as well, groaning as well. I think the tension's slowly going back to in Europe regarding the archipelago with NATO and Russia. Well, I say NATO because Ukraine is just a sidekick. They are just a cannon fodder to fight their wars, like all NATO American wars which they wage around. There is someone else who fought wars for their side. Like in the Middle East, Israelis using Americans to fight their wars. Okay, besides that, very interesting thing which came out from Russia, despite the usual oil refinery going up in flames. This is due to drone attacks. And these drone attacks, the Russians say they're using a flight path which doesn't come out from Ukraine, and using the satellite countries of Russia once upon a time, which is NATO territory. So hence NATO is using their own airspace to attack Russian infrastructure under the name of Ukraine. Well, it's NATO really. And I think Medvedev invoked Article 51, I don't know, was probably from the UN Charter for self-defense, because there's an existential threat, which there is, which is Europe, known as NATO and Americans, because let's face it, after the dissolval of the Soviet Union until now, what bases are on an increase? No NATO bases. You've got NATO bases in was it Romania and Bulgaria, basically. And they probably contain nuclear missiles, and they're pointing on the doorstep of Russia. I don't think Russians will like that. No, I don't think so. And Sergei what's his name is, now used to be a top military of the Thingy Bob the campaign, special operations, now is on the Russian Security Council. Him as the responsible for this thing has issued a public statement, a list of Western countries which could be possible targets in the near future by Russians if Russia continues to be under attack. It will continue, but at what point the Russians will just say, we draw the line, red line, finally, and we have they just lose their rag and they just go in. Mind you, they were saying, now we're going in the defence of the native speaking Russians, which are in these satellite countries. So, not Ukraine anymore, they're probably going inside there as well. These countries as well, as an excuse, special operations, Regarding the so-called naval blockades, the usual bullshit from the West, there is a deal on the table. It's only a question of days it will be. And Trump said Iranians will be handy agreeing to the terms of America and Israel and handing over that enriched uranium. What fucking bollocks are you telling us? The Iranians know this. It's a load of bollocks. And this so-called ceasefire is just a so-called time to prepare for the next round. If you had seen the flights of in and out of Europe of all the stuff they're bringing in, the Americans in the Middle East. They're preparing for another war, second round, who knows? And obviously, as I mentioned in the other videos, the Russians and the Chinese are not going to sit back. They're going to assist much as possible the Iranians, because they know this was only to get back at the Chinese and destroy the economy, which is stupid. America, do they manufacture or make things anymore in America? Once upon a time, yes. 40 or 50 years ago, yes. Like most of the West. All the manufacturing facilities for third parties, European, Americans and Japanese, they're in China because it's more cheaper, it was convenient. You can say thank you to, we can say, Bill Clinton, come to China, come to China. And the fact is this oil refineries and all these industrial plants which produces fertilizers, one behind another around the world is going up. It seems to be a sinister plan behind it. Now, regarding you remember that attack on Turkey, or these Iranian missiles, which there is a NATO base there, American one, which they has shot the missiles down. Well, there's news around it's been attacked, not by Iranians, but an attack from inside Turkey. It could be Iranian proxies. This is not your homemade DIY drones. Really sophisticated stuff. Obviously they've done their homework properly. And Turkish government's not denying it or condemning it or whatever. Pentagon are staying stumpf about it. And they said this base, a few airplanes were absolutely destroyed. Also, they say even nuclear weapons in Turkey are kept there. So it's a vulnerable target. This thing is only getting more bonkers. It's not getting any more better. Stay tuned in for the next round of World War III in the making.